animation or a quick video to show you just one other feature of animating GIF and Photoshop. Just one other approach to consider. So I've got this little froggy. I quickly painted this in Photoshop just to show us. And I've got a few different layers that I'm going to move. The rain layer and the frog layer, and then maybe I'll animate the text in. But what I wanted to show you before we made frame by frame animation, and we made lots of layers and we turned layers on and off for our frames, you can also move the position of a single layer frame by frame without making copies, without making layer duplicates. But I guess the thing to note is that you can't adjust things like rotation or scale or color or any of those other transform tools. You'd have to make multiple layers and let those layers be frames. But for position, for just moving it from across the canvas, you can do a lot just with the single layer. So let me show you that. So I'm going to open up the timeline down here at the bottom. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Not much bigger, but anyway. And so it gave me my first frame, right? And what I want to do first is I'm going to animate the rain to fall, and then the frog's going to jump a little. So I'm going to move my rain layer is on. I'm going to grab my rain layer and just send it up off the frame out of the clouds. I'll make a new layer. And I'm going to use my arrow tools because I can't grab the rain right now because it's off the canvas. I'm just using shift, holding shift and using my arrows on the keyboard. So now I have one frame like this and one frame the rain has moved in. I'm going to click in the timeline to create a new frame, and I'm going to make a slow adjustment to my rain. And at this point, I think I can grab it and move it where I want. So I'm just moving it a little bit, and this is going to move kind of quickly. My rain will fall pretty quickly. If I wanted it to go slower, I do less change between frames, but I want it just to kind of fall quickly across the screen. I didn't lock my other layers, which would have been helpful, so I don't accidentally grab a lily pad or a frog instead. But I'm going to take this, let's see, 12 frames, which would, for our frame rate that we've got going on, would be 1 second. So let's watch our rain fall. There, it's falling, falling, falling over and over, okay? And so the other thing I want to do is make our little frog jump. So I'm going to click from frame to frame and make a change with our frog layer, and it will record that change, that position at that moment for that frame. So I'll have the little frog stay still for maybe 4 frames, and then at the 5th frame, I'm going to just grab it and move it a little bit. 6th frame, I'll move him up a little bit, and then 7th frame back in place. So it's just going to do a very quick jump. Let's see how fast that is. Super quick, right? Basically moved in just, 2-3 frames. So you can do things like that as well. And then, I have a little fly that is a photographic fly I could move around. So maybe it, by the first frame, where's my fly? And I might select all my frames quickly and just make sure the fly is turned on for all of those. So for my first frame, maybe it's off the screen. My 2nd frame, I'm going to bring that fly over, right, with my arrows. 3rd frame, I'll bring it over even more, like maybe that's what my frog is jumping about. And then I'm gonna, this for the 4th frame, just, ooh, I grabbed the sky, grabbed the fly, Move it all the way over here, 5th frame. I have to get it onto the canvas in order to grab it. And I'm gonna just move this little fly kind of all around. It's gonna pop around. You'll see it's not gonna make a very smooth movement because I'm not following like a linear path. It's just popping all around. And then maybe it shoots right off the frame. So let's just see what that looks like. It's gonna be kind of wild. So you could, yeah, not a very smooth motion, but the fly is moving around really quickly and out of the frame. The disappointing thing with just moving things with position, moving around with keyframes is that I can't rotate. Like ideally the fly would sort of rotate also, or flip sides, horizontal flip, or fly upside down, but that's okay. I mean, if we make something happen really fast, I think it would be all right. So that's how you can also, without making multiple layers for each movement, just position your element by going frame by frame and putting that layer where you want it to be at that point in time. All right. Hopefully that helps.